days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. When these eyes are looking right at you, right at you. You give me something to believe in, just what I needed. You're the closest.
I'm going to talk about migrants eating dogs and cats. I mean, that's something Saturday Night Live would do. Why would you even bother to do that?
He was childish. He was creepy. He was cringy. That thing about eating dogs, they eat dogs. He was obsessed with it. He wouldn't let it go. He put that bone in his mouth and he rattled it. And I thought that she withstood Hurricane Trump. She came across as competent, even confident after that first half hour, which I agree with you, Trump, that was definitely his best half hour. Then he just descended into chaos. He couldn't make a straight point. He kept returning to generalizations as thinking that through braggadocio alone that he could prevail. He was terrible tonight. And you can apologize for him all you want, but he did not seem presidential. He wouldn't even have made the debate team at a junior high.
That was Geraldo Rivera and Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly, the winds have shifted. And it's not just that he had a bad debate performance. This is how he's always been. This is how he shows up at his rallies. They've said nothing. This is how he's been at the last debate. They say nothing. When he was with Hillary, he was rambling and mumbling and doing all that stuff. They said nothing. What changed? What changed is that Kamala Harris stood in her humanity. Back straight, head up, and show what that's supposed to look like. And it's embarrassing if you're watching the contrast. Either you're with this or you're not. And yes, they want to win, but now it's a different narrative. Tyler Merritt, thoughts and prayers.
You know, I have thought this multiple times. You and I come from a generation where we remember that the Republican Party wasn't ridiculous. Like there was a period of time where the Republican Party was the Republican Party, but they weren't ridiculous, like where you found yourself going, I don't see how anybody at all whatsoever can listen to this person and think to themselves at all, period, that there's anything worth investing in this person. Meaning, I'm just saying, like,
no, you're right. I mean, my dad was a Reagan Republican, which was a bone of contention in my household, to the point where my mother was like, do not tell anybody that you voted for Reagan. Don't you dare, and and it was as a child, I couldn't understand why he would do that, but he was a businessman. Yeah. Well, I would challenge him. Like, what the F, what is this? As a child, I did not understand that because in my mind, Reagan was anti all of us. Right.
But let's think about this thing though. As a child, you couldn't understand that. Well, this is actually my point. There are children right now that can understand why saying that you are a Trump Republican is problematic. Children can comprehend that because he is doing things that if I taught Sunday school right now, I would be like, you can't be like the former president. And I can say this to a second grader and they would be able to go, oh, yeah. I should probably not call people stupid. Right. You know what I'm saying? And like, right. No, so you as a kid, right. You as a kid back then, this made no sense to you. But even kids nowadays are able to go.
My father's support of Reagan made no sense to me as a kid. Because I thought, right, yeah. But to your point, I mean, and it's also the hypocrisy that people have to wade through because Nikki Haley said she would never want her children to behave that way. But then you are supporting him. So what are you telling your children? At some point, there's got to be a reckoning because it can't hold up, right? To your point, even if we go back to Nixon, there were a lot of black ministers, a lot of black churches, a lot of black businesses benefited when Richard Nixon was in office. He had a lot of programs for small black businesses and black churches. He gave a lot of money. So did Bush, by the way, home ownership under Bush. There were arguments that could be made economically for why you support Jack Kemp as a Republican. That's why I say let's take politics off the table. Trump is not a Republican. He's never been a Republican. This is about white nationalism and anti-everybody. This is a hate cult. It's a hate cult. MAGA's a hate cult. And we have to be really clear about that in our language. So I'm not voting Democrat this time. I'm voting human being, anti-hate.
Well,
period.
this is what I told multiple. This is what I've been saying to people. At some point, this Republican Party that exists now as MAGA is either going to move forward only as this, or it is going to have to change. And I think with people like Cheney coming out and other dominant Republicans now coming out and saying, maybe this isn't what we want. Do you really, and I think this is a bad example. I was going to use Ted Cruz, but that's a bad example. I'll say Nikki Haley. Granted, I don't know enough about Nikki Haley to defend her, but Karen, I would argue to say, no, I take that back, because she was running. When she was running, he was trying to say, this is not who we are supposed to be as a party.
Right. She did say that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and
but then she flip flop. But then she flip flop right back, right? Because she's a hypocrite. And it tells you how power hungry she is. 866-801-8255. Tyler Merritt is here. The leopards are eating each other's faces now in the Republican Party. The latest, and this is wild to me. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who I think is one of the most despicable, vile human beings walking the face of this earth, actually chastised Laura Loomer. What's her name, Smith? Laura Loomer?
Yeah, on Fox.
Loomer. You know who she is?
Mm-hmm.
She apparently was helping debate prep Trump. She did a horrible job. She tweeted, if Kamala Harris wins the White House, the White House will smell like curry, and White House speeches will be facilitated via a call center, and the American people will only be able to convey their feedback through a customer satisfaction survey at the end of the call.
When was this?
She tweeted. She tweeted this a couple of days ago, 3 days ago to be exact.
I don't know how I missed that. Don't know how I missed it.
Well, we don't follow her, and we probably block all the people that do. Follow her, so it's not going on our timeline at all. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, of all people, the horrible, despicable, cloven-hoofed person, because I think we've seen her feet. All right, so I'm not making up stuff. I'm not calling her out of her. I've seen there's cloven. She tweeted, "This is appalling and extremely racist. It does not represent who we are as Republicans or MAGA." They're trying to rebrand, child. Listen, she said, this does not represent President Trump, because Laura Loomer is with him every day. She said it does not, this is Marjorie Taylor Greene, this does not represent President Trump. This type of behavior should not be tolerated ever. Laura Loomer should take this down. Now, she didn't, not only did she not take it down, she doubled down and then came for Marjorie Taylor Greene. You want to hear this?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the only thing I want to hear right now, because this is crazy talk.
All right, hold on. Okay. So she wrote, oh my goodness. Once again, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is extremely jealous and vindictive over the fact that she wasn't successful in turning Donald Trump against me, is now behaving like a leftist and accusing me of being racist. Kamala Harris is on video calling herself Indian and saying she cooks with curry. She also refuses to speak to the media, so there's a strong likelihood that she should set up a call center to avoid speaking to the press and being honest with the American people. Oh, she's gaslighting. Hey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, speaking of racism, one of your former staffers told me that you have a favorite word that starts with an N. What if the staffer has a video? She said, she's not done. I think it's ironic.
This is crazy.
It's ironic that Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to call me a racist when Marjorie Taylor Greene is a full-blown anti-Semite who believes that Jewish people use space lasers to control the world. Along with being an anti-Semite, Marjorie Taylor Greene is also a poor excuse for a Christian. Her marriage failed because she couldn't keep her legs closed while she was a new member of Congress and was too busy screwing some guy from her CrossFit. She is not representative of the GOP or what it means to be American first. Nobody talks about her. No one talks about her anymore because she's annoying and irrelevant and a sellout. Hey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, how come you weren't at the debate? Guess you gave up on Trump when he gave up on your boyfriend, Speaker McCarthy. Don't talk about representing Donald Trump when you paid for the I guess that's Kanye, 2024 domain and used your campaign funds to orchestrate the dinner between Nick Fuentes and, well, she did spilling all the tea, and Kanye West. I exposed you months ago and I'll do it again, you trailer trash harpy. All right, we have to go to a break.
Holy shit. No, we need to.
My days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow.